as you can see here, we have quite the project going on in our hayfield here. So the reason that we're digging all this up, so this is all tile line. That's 12-inch tile line. So that's going all the way from down by the tree line there, where there's a big ditch for us to drain water in. So that's going from all the way here, and eventually we're gonna tear up the road that's right here. And we're gonna go across the road with this tile line and go into our cornfields right on the other side of the road. So what we're trying to do is this field, our cornfield over there, has had like staying water a bunch. Like this year we had a lot of rain, and other years it takes a while for it to dry out. So what we're gonna do, we want to get more tile line in there, and the only way to get more tile line is to go from there all the way over here, because there's no real ditches that are on any other side of this field. So that's what we're having to do. So we're putting this 12-inch tile line in. It's like, we had 8-inch before, so this is quite a bit bigger. And so we have to tear up the road so that way we can get underneath the road and into the cornfield. So that's what we're working on right now. They're just about up to the road. They're just working on like the level right before the road, and we're gonna start tearing up the road. So we have to block the road off for a little bit so that way we don't have anyone trying to drive down in there. So we'll keep working on getting this tore up, and I'll try to see how much I can record of it. The only thing is that there's a few obstacles like this orange line right here that goes through next to the road, so we'll have to just dig around that and just make sure we don't cut that. So that's the only thing we kind of got to worry about, is just not severing that. And then there's like phone lines there that way a little bit more. So that's gonna be like the only challenge here until we get to the actual road itself. This is actually going to be the second time we've had this whole road dug up. We did this 15 years ago. You can kind of see right here, there's like a crack in the road and crack in the road. So this is like right where we had it dug up. We did that 15 years ago when we put the 8-inch stuff. So that would work for now, but now we need to get something a little bit bigger, which is kind of how farming works, you know. You think you have the best stuff, and then 15 years later, it doesn't seem like you have anything, because everything else is, all the new stuff is so much nicer and stuff. So we're just, like, they just started working on starting to chip some of the road up here. We're gonna work our way over that way. It's not every day where you're tearing the whole road apart like this. So while they work on digging up the road over there, I'm working on filling up the trench that they dug over here. So we're gonna work on trying to get this all filled in. So it'll probably take a little while, because this is quite a bit of a trench that they got dug over here. So we'll be at this for a little while. So they got the trench all the way dug across the road. So now they're just putting some gravel on top of the actual tile itself, so that way it kind of cushions it and stuff. And then they're gonna work on connecting this piece, because we had to cut it so we can get underneath all this stuff, and then they put a different one actually underneath the road. So then they're gonna work on reconnecting that, so that way it gets connected back up there, and then they'll keep you on. I'm not sure how far we're really gonna go because of the corn still being there and stuff. So right now I'm still working on filling this. I had to dump some gravel over there for them for a while, so I didn't get very far. Right now what we're working on, we're just getting started here chopping. The guy that actually runs this is the same guy that we've baled hay for a few times in a couple of videos that we've done. So he's a grain farmer. So this corn that we're chopping here is just corn that he planted that's not gonna make good grain corn for him. So he just asked if he can come out here and chop all this shorter stuff. So we're gonna chop it about 25 acres in total, about 15 from this field, and there's 2 other fields that we gotta chop. So what we're gonna do with it is we got a bag set up, and we always get the waste from a seed corn farm that's down south, a little ways from our farm. And so we have a bag set up with all the stuff from that right now. So we're just gonna put this in there, and it'll end up being just heifer feed, heifer corn silage basically. So we'll see how much we get out of here. We don't really exactly know what we're all gonna be getting into, so we'll see how far we get here. We got just the 2 trucks right now for, to see how this goes, and we'll see if we need to get another truck going or not. So we had to dump a few loads of the corn, the seed waste. Since we were custom chopping, we didn't have the bagger here actually set up, so we had to just dumped a few over here. As you can see, because there's corn husks everywhere.
Yeah, I'll be putting on the road.
Basically, that kind of is all it is. It's just like basically corn husk and stuff. Sometimes you get the random like corn cob that comes through that they got missed, but it's not really, it's kind of a good thing for the heifers because it's like a filler feed, because you have the stuff that, the feed that actually helps them grow, and then you have to give them like a little something that kind of just fills them up so they're not constantly hungry. So this is something that works nice for that. So this corn silage will just be kind of like that. Since it's not completely mature, it'll just be something that'll kind of be a filler for them. So besides the little square that we're doing here, right here, so it goes back this way a little bit, and it goes back around here, and you can see that we're working on splitting the piece right now. Besides that, what we're gonna chop is we're gonna chop some of the headlands here along the road here, where it gets shorter and then it gets better as you get farther away from the road. And then along the trees there, along the woods, we're gonna do a couple rounds there, so that way the landlord just came down and talked to my dad. He said he's tired of looking at crappy corn. That's not what he exactly said, but he started looking at bad corn, so we're gonna get all the short stuff out of the way for him in this field. So there'll be a decent amount of loads out here. We've both done 2 loads so far. They're just filling the 3rd one for that driver, so we'll have quite a few loads out here, so it'll be worth our time. In some spots here, it's like chopping baby corn. It's so short. Like some spots, it's like when we were driving along in the wheel of the chopper was taller than the corn itself, so just kind of interesting. It's not something we really do very often here. The last time we chopped corn that was this short was about 5 years ago, when it was really wet down kind of where we have some of that heifer feed planted down by the river there. We planted corn and it kind of ended up being like this, except there was standing water we were chopping through. So we got 6 loads left in the bag before we got it full. So this will be the first one out of the 5, so then I'll have to go back for 2 more. Now the person driving the other truck will have to go back for 3 more here, so hopefully it doesn't get turned into too late. It's already like 8:30, so it'll be late enough, and we'll set up another bag here for tomorrow, because we'll have, not really sure how much we'll have left. I'll be able to inform you in an hour or so how much we got left in the field that we're in right now. And then we got 2 other fields that we're going to chop all of it for him quick, so we'll probably have a decent amount for the bag that we'll set up tomorrow yet. So I'm just coming out here to grab my last load for the night here. So there's probably at least 3 or 4 loads, at least maybe 5 or 6 left there in that chunk for chopping tomorrow. And then there's probably 1 more load here besides the one that I'm going to get filled. So there's plenty to get. There's like 6 or 7 loads here. I had to shut the window so we could soundproof against the loudness of the chopper. But anyway, so there's a little bit more that he wants us to chop along the road, or there's some short rows. And then we have to see if he wants us to chop a little bit more in one other spot of the field. So there should probably be at least 10 loads by the time we get done with it, at least probably maybe 12, depending on how much he wants us to do tomorrow that we don't already know about. Then we got the 2 other fields, so there'll be a playlist for us to chop tomorrow yet. So I think we'll have a pretty good amount in the second bag here yet tomorrow. So I just came down here to grab my first load for the day. So we got enough help where we're able to run all 3 of our straight trucks here. So shouldn't be too much left in this field, probably another 3 loads here. So get done with this field, and we'll do the next 2 fields are a little bit farther away, but are a little bit smaller. So we'll see how things go today. fields that we're gonna chop here. We gotta chop this one and all of this one. So there'll be quite a bit out here actually. So this will take a little while, but just got this field opened up over here. This one's pretty small, so this one shouldn't take too long. So we'll get back at her. So we got the second field opened up here, so at least we gotta work on finishing going or getting this rest of the way opened up, and we'll probably end up, they already split it like right here, so I'm not sure if we'll worry about splitting up. It's kind of not square, so like you get the rows aren't as long over here as they are over here, because over here the rows are pretty long. So we'll see. Dan figures that the bag's gonna be 3/4 full. I'm probably pretty close to that. I'd say it's about a quarter full now. Just got all the trucks parked here, so we ended up with 34 fulls left in the bag, so at least 3/4 of that the bag that we started this morning is full. So we got over a bag, probably a bag and a half, I'd say, out of this shorter corn. So definitely something nice to have when you have a little extra corn silage there to feed the heifers and stuff.